Okay, thanks everybody. So today I'm going to talk about and try and convince you that your bedroom is the most important place on the planet. Okay, might not take much convincing for some people, but by the end of today you'll know why as well, in case anyone argues against you. So sleep, it's something that we all do. We do it every night, and if you're like the average person, apparently we spend 36% of our life sleeping. And to put that into a context, if you live to 90 years old, that'll be 32 years of your life that you'll have been asleep. It's quite sobering, right? And in spite of that, 10 to 40% of people still say they have trouble with their sleep. So it's something that we're meant to do, it's something that's important to us, but yet some of us feel as though we're not really getting enough sleep. And I just want to tell a bit of a story about when I went through the worst period of sleep deprivation I've ever had. And that was just a simple one night's sleep that I missed. But from that I learned that sleep deprivation affects me quite badly. And we'd come back from holiday, and I've just been to Spain with a friend. It's just 10 years ago. And the flight was due to leave the airport in Spain at 3 a.m. So we thought it'd be easier just to stay up rather than go to bed, get up. So we landed and arrived at the airport ready to leave at 1 in the morning, Spanish time, and found the flight had been delayed by 3 hours. So I thought, hey, sleep at the airport, good enough place to be able to get some sleep. This is the airport. Not a particularly comfortable looking place. It was pretty empty. By this time, I was feeling pretty tired. But with that tiredness, I found that even though I really wanted to sleep, I was worried about my bags getting stolen if I fell asleep. I was worried about not waking up in time for the flight, even though my friend was right next to me. What if he fell asleep as well and we both missed the flight? So it got to about 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and the flight did arrive. So I thought, great, didn't sleep in the airport. Might be able to sleep on the plane. That was the plane. And I had the middle seat. If you've never been on an EasyJet flight, that is how much legroom you get. Not a massive amount to make yourself comfortable. So a 2-hour flight, again, couldn't sleep on the flight. The buzzing of the engines, the monotonous sounds can be quite good for helping you sleep. But being sat bolt upright, couldn't sleep on the plane either. So when we landed it'll have been about 6 a.m. at that point, waiting for our bags. It was about 8 a.m. when we got back to the car. And I just fell fast asleep in the car, 2-hour car journey back to my friend's house. Got to my friend's house, went to his brother's bedroom just to lie down for a few hours. I ended up falling asleep for 10 hours that day. Got up at 8 p.m, my friend drove me to the railway station. All the trains from London to Newcastle had basically finished for that day. So I went back to my friend Sam's house again, slept for another 8 hours overnight. So after just 24 hours of sleep deprivation, if you like, I ended up sleeping for a total of 18 hours. Just to catch up, okay? And during that time in the airport, I was feeling sick. I was irritable. I was annoyed. Everything seemed like a stupid question, and every time I blinked, it felt as though I was falling forwards like that. I'd open my eyes and be bolt upright. You know, there's this strange phenomenon where if you do go without sleep for too long, and whatever is too long varies person to person, you do start to hallucinate, and usually in a kind of what we call kinesthetic, a feeling sort of way. And I got there, it was awful, never wanted to go back there again. So from that, I took 3 lessons away from it as well. One is that sleep is important. If we spend a third of our lives sleeping, and animals do it, and leave themselves out in the wild vulnerable to predators, then sleep, it must be important. Yeah? So we all do it for a reason. The second thing that I learned is that if we don't sleep well, our body does have a natural tendency to try to catch up. And that happens just after one night. The third thing is that we have to have a suitable environment to be able to sleep. It's not enough just to feel tired. And people who have suffered insomnia for a lot of their life will find themselves feeling tired, they'll go to bed but still not be able to sleep. So tiredness in itself is not enough. We need to have a good, comfortable environment. And I'm not going to say that what you all did was rubbish, because there was really good advice, like every little bit, except for John's drink wine and eat, which are the worst things that you could do. But boring, monotonous tasks, wearing yourself out during the day, things like that, they're great for sleep. You know, do more of what works, less of what doesn't. The thing I want to talk about, which will hopefully add to that, is how to actually create a comfortable bedroom and optimise your time in bed. And I've got some photos. I want to take you through some photos of people who were kind enough to submit photos of the bedroom, and I gave them feedback on what to change. It's part of a bigger programme sometimes, but your bedroom is, as I said, one of the most important rooms in the house. So what's the one thing, and this is a bit of a hint as to what the first thing is, what's the one thing that your parents always told you to do to your bedroom when you were a kid? Bang. Yeah, that is the most straightforward way of making it comfortable straight away. Just tidy it up. This was somebody's bedroom. Okay, they used it as an office as well. And you can just see at the corner there's a little leg of the bed. But this was what it was like most of the time. After they tidied it, they got it to that. What they also then showed is that they have a TRX hanging down, which is a workout tool. Now, exercise is good during the day, but if you're doing it in your bedroom, then through what we call Pavlovian conditioning, you're breaking that association between the bedroom as a place to sleep and actual sleep. So, really, if we got rid of the exercise work there, and then cleared it up a little bit more, that actually wouldn't be too bad a bedroom. The second one is this one. And again, you know, most of us do have tidy bedrooms, and it's actually helpful that people took these photos from me rather than tidied up and then, you know, yeah, this is how I normally sleep, but it's not. Again, could tidy up here, make it a bit more comfortable. One thing I pointed out was about the sloped ceilings, and I know that a lot of people have sloped ceilings in their houses. Even though there's not really much you can do about that other than move the bed, for a lot of people the sloped ceilings kind of cause a little feeling of claustrophobia. Even though it can be a big open room, just looking up at the sloped ceiling can create a bit of discomfort. And I know this experience, I had sloped ceilings in my old house, and it was just a feeling, it just wasn't right. I couldn't put a finger on it at the time before I learned all this stuff. The good thing about this one, lamps in the corner. Lamps are much better than using the big light, because light tricks our body into stopping the melatonin production. And melatonin is a chemical that basically sends us to sleep. So this is another reason why really you don't want to be using big lights, don't want to be using mobile phones, especially laptops. This was the other side of that person's bedroom, and again, not really much there. If you've got clothes hanging on your radiator though to dry off, then get rid of it. Again, it's about leaving the bedroom and making the bedroom just for sleep and nothing else. Similarly though, if clothes are drying, that creates more moisture in the air, it creates a smell, and smell is often one of the things that keeps people awake more than anything. Lavender is a fantastic way of creating a relaxing smelling room. Leave a window open during the day, and then at night put lavender in, just so that you've kind of reset the bedroom. This is a hotel room that I stayed in a little while ago, and even though it just looks like a typical hotel room, there is so much in there that would get in the way of sleep. Again, we've got the sloping ceilings, but the bed right up against the wall as well. Again, just adding to that feeling of claustrophobia. We've got a TV hanging straight opposite the bed, which I've got to admit, I mean, I never watch TV in bed anyway, so that wasn't a problem. But ideally, getting the TV out of the room. The curtains too thin. If you find that light is coming through your room, then you can use either blackout curtains, or we can use the blind and curtains idea, which are really popular actually now, become really fashionable. The big furniture chain near Gateshead, at the Metro Centre, the Swedish one, all of their rooms now have got blinds and curtains, and it looks great as well. The bedroom elements that people often forget about is the most basic ones, just making sure the bed is comfortable as well, okay? With that comes about temperature. If the bedroom is too hot, it'll be harder to sleep. If it's too cold, it'll be harder to sleep. Again, it's subjective. They say 20 to 26 degrees. 26 is probably a little too high. But as long as it feels okay, all this stuff is about what's comfortable and feels okay. Yeah, if you don't have sleep trouble, then you don't really need to change that much. The more trouble you have, the more you might need to change. This would be a good example of a good bedroom for sleep. So again, we've got the lamps, rather than using a big light. You'll notice how high the ceiling is. Again, we can't change the height of the ceilings in the house, but as an example, that really helps.
Put your bed lower.
You could. Mattress on the floor. Notice as well, no clocks. Who has a clock in the bedroom? Yeah. What do you do when you can't sleep? Yeah, watching the clock. And inside your body, whilst you're watching the clock and you're thinking, I've got to be up at 8, you're just getting more and more worked up. You keep yourself awake from the agitation that comes about, the body's getting more aroused, and then you just find yourself in this cycle, this vicious cycle of not being able to sleep. Just get rid of the clock, that's the easiest, or put it face down. If there was to be one change made here, again, I'd probably make thicker curtains, or suggest thicker curtains in this room. But other than that, that's a pretty good room for sleeping. The thing about sleep, much like someone suggested earlier, is that often people think about sleep as starting when you go to bed or on a night. I want to encourage you to look at sleep as being something that starts during the day, where if we are enjoying life, if we're happy, if we're relaxed, comfortable, doing things during the day, like exercising to wear ourselves out, especially if we're exercising outdoors because we're getting that sunlight, which helps, then all those things are really helpful as well. And the main thing is about making the bedroom a happy place. If you're having to pick up things or move stuff aside before you get into bed, it's going to cause problems. It's not going to be a very welcoming place. So the thing about sleep is that sometimes the harder that you chase it, and people with insomnia, they relate to this really well, the harder we chase it sometimes, the more it runs away. And we have to create an environment that invites sleep in, a comfortable, welcoming environment that makes sleep want to visit. So hopefully I've convinced you why the bedroom is really important. And I'd just like to close in saying thank you for your time with us, and if there are any questions, then I will be around afterwards. Okay. Thanks a lot.